Cleveland!
You notice the theme to today's show already?
I do, yeah. I do.
We are in Cleveland.
The land.
How can you tell?
Do you feel it?
I can
Feel it in the air?
I can see it, and I can feel it.
We are dressed to be in Cleveland. We have people with us here in Cleveland. Let's
Hey!
Cleveland.
I feel economically depressed.
I feel worn down by the weather, and I feel like I look 10 years older than I am. That's what Cleveland looks. Anyway, we have plenty of people here. I want to introduce many of them.
Okay.
I know you've wanted many years you wanted to meet Rose.
You have no idea.
You're going to meet Rose today. My mom's friend Rose.
I do declare.
But we got a tight 30 with a big-time superstar. Because he's like, I got a call in a half hour, man. Anyway, we are broadcasting live to tape from the Brothers Lounge in Cleveland today. I believe Monday we're going to attempt a live stream.
That's what I saw.
That's what you're interested in. But today, the Brothers Lounge, which is run by my brother, but they didn't name it that, and they also just don't really have a lot of black people here. I don't know why they call it the Brothers Lounge. The point is, none of that is the point. The point is we have a superstar sitting right next to Jake. He is Cleveland radio king Nick Wilson.
We're going to do double applause.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
We
you.
don't have to applaud that much.
Yeah. Well, you brought the brothers to the Brothers Lounge.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Nick Wilson. Now, many people here who are from Cleveland, they're very familiar with you because you are a local radio host.
Sure.
And that's one of the reasons you have to run.
Yep.
Is because you have an actual show.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's running anywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like a runner.
It's going to be more of a slow jog.
All right.
Stops and starts.
He is a big man.
Yeah.
How old are you, Nick Wilson?
I'm 38.
38. Oh,
Yeah.
Same as Jake.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot in common.
Nice.
Just turned 39.
We're basically Eskimo brothers,
So,
That's inappropriate.
but not untrue.
That's where you draw the line?
as I said, Nick is a big man. But I once knew him as a big boy, as
Oh, yeah?
he is the son of an old friend of mine, Big Jim Wilson.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I'm bigger than him. I won.
Are you actually bigger than Big Jim?
Okay. Which way?
Just weight-wise. I've always described Big Jim as 300 pounds-ish.
Yeah, there's a shade. There's just a shade over 300 pounds. Bit of an awning, but yeah. I know it's kind of like it's nice. It's like his weight is like usually about 350, and I like to just dance across that as if it were
Yeah.
the Mendoza line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he hit 350.
Oh, dude, he hit four bills at one point.
Yeah, I the time that we're about to review some of this that Dan said I think Big Jim was about 300. I said, boy, I think you're quite off there.
Conservative guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Jim I worked with in
I could have a bad month and be 300.
I don't believe that. That sounds like bullshit.
Well, I weigh 200, right?
Okay.
Oh, bad.
So you weigh 200.
Well, I'm just saying, like I feel like Big Jim was.
May he rest in peace.
Bless up.
Yeah.
Big Jim's not alive anymore.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? No, never mind. Go ahead, Jake. Finish your.
No, I think it was knocking on 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good guess.
Anyway, he was very big. I worked with Big Jim in Warren, Ohio. I usually say Youngstown just because most people.
Everyone knows that.
Well, you've heard of Youngstown more than Warren, I would believe.
Just sounds more important.
But if you live in that area, it's known as the Youngstown-Warren area, kind of like Dallas-Fort Worth. Warren is the Fort Worth to Youngstown.
It's probably the same.
Same thing.
And you want an area that looks economically depressed, my friend. Let's head out to Warren, Ohio. So you never lived in Warren because at that point Big Jim started as an intern with me. He and his friend named Tommy Lowe, they worked at a broadcast school. they went to a broadcast school in Akron, I believe. And him and his friend Tommy Lowe. Now, Tommy Lowe was blind, so he had a blind friend, and we had a blind intern, and we would have the blind intern label our cuts and everything, and we would always play we would introduce, hey, Charles Nagy of the Indians said this about last night's game, but then it was,
William Pace.
It was just it was always mislabeled, and we'd yell at the blind intern. Big Jim once, we had a hot dog contest there, where we would have a local business won hot dogs for the whole office.
Yeah.
And so I was the program director of this tiny radio station.
Amazing.
So this office won a business of the week, and they won hot dogs for the whole office. So it was like 50 hot dogs. And we once said to Big Jim, it was a Friday, you would win it, and we'd deliver it to your office. And Big Jim said, I'll deliver it this week. So he and Tommy Lowe went to the hot dog place, got the 50 hot dogs, and Friday afternoon, we got a lot of complaints like, hey, we never got our hot dogs.
Yeah.
And when we got to, we jump on the air Monday morning at 6 a.m., like, hey, Big Jim, what happened? We had to go back and go give them he just picked up the hot dogs, drove straight home with Tommy Lowe, and ate them all.
Well, okay.
Because he was 450 pounds.
So this is important. He had
Do you
sympathy
know anything about that
blindness.
story?
Well, he had sympathy blindness.
Okay.
Because of Tommy Lowe. And so they shared glaucoma medication. And I think they just got confused.
They absolutely shared glaucoma.
Yeah.
In fact, I shared some of that medication with them.
Yeah. I might have found some and got my ass whooped for finding it. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not by Dad. It was Mom who found it, and then Dad got his ass whooped too.
Okay, and then Big Jim would end up, when I got a job in Dayton, after a while I was able to turn Big Jim on to the fact that, hey, we need a production director up here in Dayton. And so Big Jim got that job, and he moved to Dayton. Now, you probably moved there, right?
Yeah, and I did live in Warren for 3 months over summer, where I was definitely the only young white kid, and that definitely got my ass beat 3 times.
Okay.
And those were the only 3 times I walked outside the apartment.
But that made you the man you are today.
That is. I mean, 300,
Where would you be without that?
325 pounds?
Yeah.
Conservatively.
Yeah. The awning.
Yeah.
The awning is 25 pounds.
Sure.
The awning's another 75. Yeah.
So that leads us into the reason these guys are pretty fascinated with Big Jim. They don't care about you at all.
That's fair.
They care about your
Sure.
dad.
That makes sense.
Because I went with your dad on a local TV show. Cable access used to be a thing. And they would just kind of let anybody do a TV show on there. And there was a guy named William Pace that we would have glaucoma medication. And then we would watch the William Pace show, which aired every night at midnight on this Dayton local cable station for Dayton. And it was just this fascinating show. He was this 6'4" black man with crazy hair. He would wear a tuxedo. He would sing. He was like a classically trained opera singer. But then he would do interviews, and for some reason, like, we were fascinated by him, so we would talk about him on our Dayton radio show, and, we booked him on the show, and then he booked me on the show, and I thought, well, I'm not that funny. I can't carry this. I'll invite the funniest guy I know with me, and that is Big Jim, who I believe had his story was like he was once on Star Search.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a stand-up comedian.
It's a big thing. It was the 1980s.
Yeah.
That was when cocaine was still big.
So, yeah.
It didn't appear to be working.
That did factor into the Star Search appearance, just so
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, we have some video here.
Nice.
I don't know if you've seen this before or not. I suppose you can look at monitor if you'd like. But this is Dan's appearance with your pops.
Nice.
On the William Pace show.
William, I wanted to talk a little weight loss. I mentioned that at the beginning of the show. Yes. And I'd like to introduce, Joe is my partner on the air, but one of the big guys...
Did you inherit those
so
pants?
to speak,
yes, I did.
To our show off the air is Big Jim Wilson. He's our production guy. And, and also,
Tepid.
very strange, I was talking weight
Now,
loss.
How would you describe your
As you
dad's
can see,
shirt?
it's
there?
pause it?
January.
I'd say
It's,
stretched out. Yeah.
I would say stretched out is
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
is a
his
light.
pants.
Yeah.
It's like these weird
Zubaz.
camo sweats.
Yeah.
Ironically, also from the 80s and cocaine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Post-Christmas, I'm wearing my big clothes. These are my big pants. This my big fat shirt. You know, it hangs over, so you don't have to see the gut hanging out and everything.
We have the camouflage.
Is that
thing.
funny?
And every year, every January, I'm trying
That's
a
funny.
different weight loss thing. I'm going through eating 2 ounces of chicken, and I'm
Do you
trying.
really have to watch your weight?
Oh yeah, for sure,
I mean,
baby. Yeah.
Do you have to
I
watch?
mean,
I mean, like you could probably eat like a pizza and
I could eat a whole pie, easily.
really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Really?
I love
Really?
eating. I've always thought that if I ever had an eating disorder, I could be a bulimic, but I could never be anorexic because I have to eat. You know what I mean?
Now,
So-
what have you analyzed why you eat so much? I've analyzed why I eat so much. But
Really?
Why? What's the driving force of you eating so much?
I think because my parents were divorced when I was like
Sorry,
8
Mom.
years old, and I just started eating ever since then.
She's
and,
not paying attention.
So that was a hard time for you.
Yeah, I
It
believe
was a
that
psychological, because I believe that weight loss has something to do with the psychological.
Oh, for sure.
You're eating to fill yourself for other things that are not in your life.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know.
So
Getting
here's
deep.
the
Fill
thing,
yourself.
though.
Yeah.
I have employed Big Jim here. He's my spiritual advisor
Pause.
and personal trainer.
So, and just for those just listening, because most people do that,
Sure.
You know, so I consider myself fairly overweight. Can you just keep the video up? I'm pushing 250 there. I'm almost hitting it.
Yeah.
Big Jim there, we're establishing, you think 400?
Oh, at that time, yes, sir.
Okay, so
That was peak of glaucoma usage, so yeah.
just so you know, the visual on the on the William Pace show. William Pace, as I described already, big guy. He's interviewing both of us. I'm kind of a big guy, but I got a really, really big guy right next to me.
Huge.
Okay.
Pretty much weight loss consultant.
Okay.
Usually, you don't see a guy that looks like Big Jim to be a weight loss consultant. You know,
Are
but
you a weight loss consultant?
I am, William. I've developed a two-phase plan to help Dan, and I believe help others.
Okay.
Phase one of the plan, of course, is just hanging out with me. As Dan
I mean,
sits here now with
it's a
me
visual,
next to
yeah.
him, he appears thinner than he would if I weren't
Yep.
here.
think about
It's
it.
just
When
logic.
you first were watching the show, you thought I was a little chunky, didn't you? But
did.
now what do I look like?
He
Yeah,
looks
I'm a world-class athlete
So
now.
that's the first part of the plan. You must
it's an
seek and
illusion
find
then.
someone larger than you.
Jim,
Okay.
so he
Hang out.
hangs with me all the time, which is a
Okay.
little weird during showers and when my girlfriend comes over, but I
It
don't
works
mind
out.
it, you know? 'Cause,
It
yeah.
works out.
Now, the second phase of the plan, William, is Dan eats at certain times. In fact, it's worth. Well,
Is it time to
it's
eat
time.
now? Is it midnight?
Yeah.
Where's my, I bring my
See
And
here,
so,
totally
as Dan
unscripted,
pulls a
Dan,
briefcase.
here's the plan. Here's how Dan stays thin by standing.
This, by the way,
keeping
is
next
the,
to me.
This, by the way, is this briefcase from
Before
Pulp
you open
Fiction.
this up, now is this food
Didn't
in
hit.
here? What is it?
It's,
It is Dan's regimented meals.
yeah, I have a
Now,
little something I
he
have
eats
my
at
lunch. I
the
brought my
same
lunch with
time
me.
every day.
Brought a sandwich. Can you hold that for a second?
What kind of sandwich is
Classic.
it?
That's
Good
a
play.
turkey.
Yeah.
Really, though,
It
here's
looks like
the
it's
thing
Get him
about my new
involved.
diet.
Yeah.
Does it have mustard on it?
How do you like that thing?
Oh, this
Here's
is more like for my diet.
Yeah, here's the deal with my new diet, William.
I think William liked that
I
thing
can
quite a
eat
bit.
anything.
Oh, a Bud Light.
I handed him a banana.
A lot of diets, you got to eat like an ounce of chicken or you got to eat this much rice. This diet, I eat anything. Pizza, hamburgers, whatever. And
Are
then
you gonna,
gotta-
are you gonna pop the lid on the Bud Light?
See, what happens is, William,
well,
while
what's
I'm
the
with
rule?
Dan,
What's the rule on the beer?
the rule is you start the beer, I finish the beer.
Well, only light beer, too.
Only light beer, right, exactly. Any food Dan wants to ingest, I have to eat most of it first, and then I give it to
Now
him.
this we have families watching the show, so I don't.
I think
know-
that's
Oh, no, we're
probably
not going
the
to drink this
How
beer.
money
Not
shot.
on the air.
Right, that's just a prop.
That's for you after the show.
How proud are you?
By the way, it totally made
So-
sense why you guys have me here today.
Yeah, so the bit was that I don't know that he went on to explain that so anything I eat, he would just so if I start eating a sandwich, he would grab like a bunch of
Yeah.
he would eat most of what I ordered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
don't-
he would never spend money.
You don't think it's a coincidence that I got to 350 after he died, right?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
You
like
no
a
longer
quarter
had a-
Ethiopian until
Yeah.
he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, you no longer had someone to clean your plate for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just take the plate.
But how old were you then when, like, you said, like, were you in studio with us in Dayton ever?
Yeah.
I know I interacted with you,
Yeah.
but I didn't remember if we did it on the
Yeah,
air.
the dude would bring me, he'd wake me up, he'd get me out of school. It'd be like 5 in the morning. He'd give me a 3-liter thing of cola, whatever it was, whatever the knockoff was, and I'd just sit there chugging. And I'd get ramped up, and you guys would be like, all right, I think he's ready.
Okay.
And I get like a 5-minute burst out and power down. You guys go back to do the show, as it were. And then I get more of the cola in me and the sugar and the diabetes, and then bring it back up. And, so like 5-minute stretches across 4 hours, probably 15 minutes a whole show.
Okay.
Maybe the best radio you guys have done.
But did you say that we kicked you out of the studio or something happened?
No.
What was?
In Dayton, I did the unforgivable thing. One of the things you're not supposed to do is shout out people on the radio. It's hack. Well, I was 12 and didn't know that. And so I called into Dan's show, and I had a real opinion. And Dan let me have my opinion. I was like, cool. I'm going to push the limit. And I was like, I just want to shout out. And before I could finish the word out, I was off the air. And for 12 years,
He'll do that.
I MF'd you in my head. And then every moment since I've gotten a show, I've been like, I think he was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the right there.
Trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Hanging
learned
up-
a lesson there.
Yeah, no, I learned to hang up on little kids because I was a fan of Pete Franklin, who hung up on me multiple times when I tried calling his radio show.
And somebody probably did it to Pete Franklin back, in the 50s.
Yeah,
That sounded personal. I didn't mean it personally as it sounded. I just meant Pete was old, not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you end up, like, how did you get, so now you're a sports talk guy in Cleveland?
Yeah. So I just, I kind of washed out of radio at 24.
Okay.
Like so many do. And then one day there was this whisper in the wind that there was finally an FM sports talk station going up, and I did not get the job, any of them. Mm-hmm. They had 24 jobs. I got none of them. But, so basically I was like, oh, well, I have a kid now. I guess I better go do corporate things. I better go get a real job.
Yeah.
And 3 weeks later I got a call, and then I became the world's worst board op. And then they promoted me to world's worst 2020 guy, and then I became world's worst reporter. And now I am the world's worst afternoon drive show host.
Look at this.
Yeah. You can fail up, folks. This is America.
Trust
now,
me.
where can people find
I know.
Well, I mean,
Was it 92.3?
oh, yeah, I thought we were, 92.3, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if
He
you
didn't
want to give
mean
your
like
address out.
drop your physical location.
I didn't know if you wanted me
That
to
was
drop
not-
the pin. Yeah,
No.
that's a big thing these
No.
days. Kids are
No.
doing it.
The kids are doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sweet, man. How are the Browns? They suck?
no, I don't
Are
think
you
so.
on board with DeShaun Watson?
What does that mean?
Because I'm a
Happy baby pose?
yeah.
Like am I going places with him?
no,
and-
just on board with them acquiring him. Like I'm a Baker fan,
Uh-huh.
and I just thought the Hall. I don't know if that's what were we debating the other day. The worst NFL trade.
It was the Bryce Young trade.
We think maybe it's the Bryce Young trade, but
Have the statute of limitations on Herschel run out? Because that really is the worst trade in history. I'm sorry.
Train robbery.
Yeah.
yeah, it's.
But Bryce Young's up there.
Bryce Young's up there.
Yeah. The
And-
DeShaun thing will be if this goes the way the last 2 years. That's where it'll be.
Yeah, but I mean, even now, the fact that it's gone that way for 2 years, like you've had a pretty good base, and you thought I'm a quarterback away,
Yeah.
and then
There's still a quarterback
you
away.
kind of got rid of yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing with DeShaun is, I think everybody just lumps the 2 years together. This is a very low bar. But 2 years ago, he comes in, he plays in a system that does not fit him, and he just objectively sucked for 6 games. But then last year he came back, and he actually gave, 3 or 4 good performances. It just wasn't 2020 DeShaun, and then the shoulder. There was a moment. There was finally a moment, because I'm a Baker bro, too. And there was a moment.
That's what they say.
Where
Yeah, Baker bro.
there was a moment where in that Baltimore game, 14-14, they come back, beat Baltimore on the road, and it's the first time I ever thought maybe it'll work out. And I got a Monday show where I could just be like, is it? Or should we talk Super Bowl now? And then Tuesday at 1:59, my show starts at 2. 1:59, DeShaun out for the season, has a shoulder injury, and has to have surgery. So I got 2 quarters and a Monday to believe in it. Now, the difference is the Browns at no point in the last 2 years have done anything to, put the guy in, a system like he was in Houston with spread concepts. They claim to be doing that now.
Okay.
So that's the new
Out of necessity because Nick Chubb got hurt and
Yeah. Well, and I think they realize maybe we spent $230 million in 6 top 100 picks. Maybe we should do everything we can to make this guy work out.
yeah.
Yeah.
So after a couple years, we've
Yeah.
come to that realization.
Yeah, well, it's like after the first heart attack, you lose 100 pounds. That's how it goes. That's where we are with DeShaun. This is
Sounds
after
like
the
experience.
first. Yeah.
So can you roll through? I wanted to do this a couple years ago.
The quarterbacks?
Yeah, I never did memorize them. I did memorize all the Major League Baseball managers for fun.
Uh-huh.
But I always wanted to memorize like every quarterback since the new Browns.
Oh. I can
Can
give
you
it a
do
go.
it? Can you do it?
I mean, it's like 38 quarterbacks, 39. I can probably give you 30.
Okay.
Tim Couch, Spurgeon Wynn, Doug Peterson, Kelly Holcomb, Luke McCown. Did I say Kelly Holcomb? Yeah. Jeff Garcia.
You're already doubling up after 6?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's how my brain works.
Yeah.
Trent Dilfer, Derek Anderson, Charlie Fry, Bruce Gradkowski, Colt McCoy. I'm missing somebody. Brady Quinn. Oh, damn, we got 12 and now we stalled.
Yeah.
I'm killing the bit on air.
Hoya.
Hoya!
Oh, Brian Hoyer, thank you for the cheat.
sure.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
God, they all suck. Can
Yeah,
I
we
just
could
stop
also-
now? Are
yeah,
you just
you
trying to kill me?
Ken Dorsey, Seneca Wallace.
No, stop. Stop, please, no more. I've heard. Oh, no, continue.
Like
It's your
Connor
job.
Shaw
Yeah.
gave you a good game.
He had a day.
And then
Yeah.
and then one of these guys finally like brings them to the playoffs and actually wins a playoff game.
Yeah.
And then that's the guy we're going to get rid of.
You know why, right?
Just because he got a beach in the parking lot of the Cheesecake Factory?
That actually gets you promoted around here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the coronation spot.
All right.
No, it's because he was too big of a personality for Kevin Stefanski.
Interesting.
Speaking of, are you married?
Yeah.
Does your wife think Kevin Stefanski's hot?
Yeah, she said the word hottie patati once, and I almost left her.
Yeah, I would never use that word.
Yeah.
But, I don't know that
Yeah.
my wife would either, but she's very into Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean.
And he's like kind of thick, so it's like I feel like I could put on a little bit of weight and still be Kevin Stefanski hot.
You're sitting next to a damn near 400-pound man, and you just called Kevin Stefanski.
I'm doing the big Jim thing.
Like, Kevin Stefanski is not thick. All right? Kevin Stefanski could use at least double cheeseburgers today just to beef him up a little bit. I object at that. Got contentious.
Noted.
Well, how are we doing this year? Are we going to – we need the Cowboys to win
Yeah.
because I have a sizable amount I could profit off of if the Cowboys start the season 5-0.
Okay.
So-
Like how sizable?
He doesn't know what
We're
sizable
talking
means.
4 figs.
Okay.
Whew, that's what I'll win.
The payout.
I didn't put
Okay.
4 figs
Oh,
on
well,
it,
what'd you
but
put
the
up? Because that's really what it's about, how much you're going to lose.
3 figs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably $100.
Okay.
Hey, get
That's-
off my ass.
Yeah. That's a lot of figs for some people.
It's way more figs than this guy sitting next to
It's a lot of figs for a podcast host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I won big last night.
I wouldn't count on it.
You won less than you put up.
You're saying the Browns.
Yeah.
You like the Browns.
I actually really like the Browns in this game. I kind of
They
feel
are favored by 2.5.
like I feel frustrated for Cowboys fans. I thought you had the biggest dog shit off season that I've seen in a long
That's
minute.
true, but I just thought what you just did kind of shows us why we should not be so quick to get rid of Dak.
And none of our players raped anybody.
Yet.
Yeah, not that we know.
And by the way, I believe that was the 90s.
But yeah, you don't want to get rid of.
We're
You
not
get rid of
talking
Dak,
about
and I
that.
know you're a proponent of Dak sucks and everything, and I'm kind of there with you. But just remember the years of Quincy Carter and Chad
Yeah.
Hutchinson, and I mean the list he just reeled off.
We need
Now, if it gets you Baker in the end,
we need a Clockwork Orange moment for him that every time he says Dak sucks, you just pin the eyes open and he has to read off the whole list of quarterbacks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or rewatch this.
And once you get to, where did I get? I got to like Derek Anderson and tapped out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right about where you'll be like, I guess Dak isn't that bad.
Yeah.
I guess we'll take, 9 and 8. But
or the fact that they've won 12 games each of the last 3 seasons, but that's who's counting? I
Are
suppose.
we salty about me saying they had a dog shit off season?
I'm just saying.
I mean, it
they're-
seems like you're salty about that.
Derek Anderson and Dak won the same amount of playoff games last year.
So,
Ouch.
Ooh.
I'd like to point out,
Ouch.
I did not say it out of judgment for Cowboys fans. All right? I said it out of
Don't
judgment.
you have somewhere to be?
Nope. I still got 2 minutes. I said it out of judgment of Jerry Jones, who decided this dumbass idea of we're going to have a lame duck quarterback and lame duck head coach.
Not smart.
That's what I'm offended on behalf of Cowboy fans, that they cut everybody any of you ever liked, except Dak and C.D. Lamb and Micah Parsons, and like 2 other guys. I just didn't want to say the names again. Cut for time. But that they
We
did
don't have to do that.
But now we do. But no, that they did that, and then they're like, well, I guess you're going to have to play your way into $65 million. Okay. Let's talk to the Washington, whatever the hell we're going to call them today's, after Kirk Cousins went away.
He won't do it.
Are you against the Indians changing their name?
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay. So you don't care. You're
No.
apathetic. You
Yeah.
don't. You're not like, I need them to change the
Yeah.
name because I was offended.
I am 0. I did the 23andMe, 0% Native American.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're very pro Chief Wahoo. You'd like to see that logo.
I'm Switzerland, baby.
Okay.
Like
How do you do that 23andMe test?
well, there's a couple ways, but we'll swap.
Oh,
yeah, Jake thought you had to jerk it and put it in the cup.
I did that too.
But
that was just for good
I
measure.
misunderstood the
And,
process.
and he sent
That's-
that in.
Yeah.
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 They were like, "You're
and
a
then
criminal."
You got a restraining order. And
Okay.
it's,
Yeah.
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 If they had a problem with that, that's on them.
I know.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
That's called going above and beyond. That's over delivering.
Yeah, he was just used to doing it for the
Yeah.
IVF or whatever.
I'll be honest with you. I have a friend going through IVF, and he's like, "Oh man, found out, just had my blood drawn, and I found out I also have to do that in a cup." And I was like, "That's the thing you're bitching about?
Yeah.
Not them sticking you with a needle?
Well, it's a
I
weird,
like that would be like
it's pretty uncomfortable.
it's just a weird process when you go.
It
in
was
this
so uncomfortable
cold
that I
room.
wasn't able to do it in 10 seconds.
I don't have that problem. Yeah, it's called being efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not comfortable.
Well, how about this? Next time you go,
Yeah,
I'll
well, I
fly
don't
down.
plan on going back. You're
Well,
gonna jerk me off or something? Or
No.
Hear 'em
You'll
out.
be in one corner. I'll be in another.
Okay.
It'll be like accountability buddies.
Okay.
Yeah, but it'll be like a competition. It'll take your mind off it of who completes that act first.
Why would that help me?
Why would it not help you?
Good
Ladies and
points.
gentlemen, this is the great Nick Wilson.
Thank you. I want you to look up friendship.
I know you have he's got a big sponsor call to get on.
Yeah.
boy, remember sponsor calls?
Oh,
Weren't
well,
those the days?
they have not gone away. Maybe they have for some of us, but we still do them.
Oh.
Anyway. All right, thanks.
Don't want me.